Hello again, welcome back to All Crone Up. It's Frances, and today in the park I want to talk to you about physical touch. Now, a little while ago I did a video on the seven oh dear, it's going to be one of those, the five love languages, one of which is physical touch. Now, for those of us who live on our own or who don't have a partner or that kind of thing, physical touch is a lot harder to come by. I work at Lush. I do hand and arm massages for people who come in, and often people get quite moved when they get touched by a relative stranger, unless they come in regularly, which some people do. But touch is so important. If you have a baby, they always say to you, as soon as you can, you put them on your, you hold them on skin to skin. It's so vital for the babies, so that it's not so much of a shock. And also it's just good for the overall health of the baby as it's kind of accustomizing, is that a word, to being out in the air. So physical touch, lots of different ways, and there's holding hands or there's hugging. Hugging is massive, and if you hug for a few more seconds than you would normally, some people hug you and then they let go, but if you hug a few more seconds, it helps you get your feel-good hormones to kind of kick in, and it gives you a boost. So what else can you do? Touching faces, I love this one. I think I've talked about this before. My granny used to hold my face with both hands, and I just felt so held and seen and loved. I have just been to see my friend Neil, who is in a very, very sorry state. He had an accident and he's half paralysed, and he doesn't have much of a life actually. So I go and visit him once or twice a week, and I massage his hands and his feet, and we were talking about physical touch today, and he said how it made him feel cared for, so it's a loving gesture, isn't it, to touch somebody else's skin, to touch somebody else in a loving way. But if you don't have somebody else that you can touch, that can hold you or put their arm around you or make you feel cared for in that way, what can you do? Because I think this is a big deal for a lot of people. So what I do is, even if you just do this, put your hand on your heart, feel your own heartbeat. It's better if you're putting it onto actual skin. And it's really soothing. You can soothe your own self. You can hold your own face. When I go to sleep, I have one hand here, the hand that's holding the selfie stick here, and then the other hand I put on top, so I'm kind of holding my own hands because I sleep on my side. There's lots of different ways, when you put cream on your skin, be thinking about not just kind of but think about what you're doing and feel what you're doing as you're doing it. When you're going in the shower, for example, feel the water moving over you, because that's another form. It's water touch, but it's still touch. If you're in the sea and you feel your whole body being held by the water, it's so lovely. So it's such an important thing. I think in very, very long time ago, I didn't look this up, I was going to look it up, but I heard years and years ago that there was this quite dreadful experiment done with babies, and they left the babies alone. They didn't touch them, they didn't hold them, they didn't cuddle them or anything, and they all died because you need a touch. So of one of the 5 love languages, it's a really popular one. Touch is so important, and it's not just kind of a physical partner type touch. It's touching children, and often I see people, they're very much huggy with girls and their daughters, but often boys, no, he's got to grow up to be, strong, and then they don't They don't hug their boy children. Oh, so hug everyone. I'm gonna knit myself a jumper saying free hugs. I will hug absolutely anyone who needs, well, within reason, most people who need a hug. Definitely, because it's a free thing, and I'm so aware of the importance of physical touch. I'm so lucky in that later on this afternoon I'm actually going to have a massage. Now I know a lot of people can't either afford one, or they don't know where to go or whatever. But if there's any way that you can organise that kind of touch for yourself, if you, especially if you don't get very much on a daily basis, it's such a good idea. So yeah, I think that's everything for today. Just be aware of your physical need, and you know, and notice what you need, and then allow yourself to have what it is you need. So even if you can hug yourself, that's another one. You need both arms. My other arm is being occupied holding up this selfie stick, but hold yourself really tightly. Or I'll tell you what's a good one. I'll find one here. You may laugh, or you may think, oh, well, that's obvious. You hug a tree, and you just hold on, and you can hug tightly, and that makes such a difference. And even better to be barefoot whilst hugging the tree, just saying. Anyway, lots of different ways of getting physical touch, not necessarily with another person, but if it is with another person, even better, you know. So think about it maybe, and think about ways that you can get your needs fulfilled with your physical touch, even if you don't have somebody else that can help you with that. Okay, I think that's all for today. Have a wonderful day. Put down below where you're going to get your physical touch from, and what's your favourite way of no rude ones, self-physical touch, what you can, if you like, put them down below. But I think mine is to put my hands on my heart. Actually, one hand on my heart, one hand on my belly, and it makes me feel really held. So there we go, that's mine. Okay, have a glorious day, lots and lots of love. Bye.